Best has published a report looking at Jordan's insurance market. I'm Yvette Essen for AM Best TV, and I'm joined by Luca Patron, financial analyst for AM Best, to talk through the key findings of that report. Our research highlights that one of the key factors in the market in Jordan is that it is extremely competitive. Can you highlight some of the reasons why it is so?
It is highly competitive for two main reasons, the first one being high pressures on technical performance. In this market there are 24 insurers chasing approximately 600 million of premiums, Jordan dinars of premiums. This has caused high pressures on pricing, and also the model third-party liability, which is tariffed by the government, has hindered operating performance. On the other side, the rising fiscal deficits has caused tax hikes and cuts in government spending. Finally, the widespread lack of awareness of insurance and risk mitigation amongst the population is reflective of the low penetration rate in the Jordan market.
So there are certainly a number of factors contributing to the competitive environment, but can you highlight some of the other weaknesses that the market faces in general?
The main weakness highlighted by our analysis is considered to be risk governance, with the risk management considered to be reactive rather than proactive in nature, and also risk appetite assessment has not been clearly defined by most of the companies. Concentration risk is another very important risk we've seen in the market because both underwriting risk and investment risk emanates solely from Jordan for most of the companies. Finally, stress testing is considered to be the weakest component of the enterprise risk management assessment of AM Best. Another weakness considered by AM Best in the Jordan market is capital management, which revolves solely around the local regulatory authority. The solvency ratios of the companies in Jordan has decreased in the past few years, and that has, and as a consequence, we've seen that some licenses has been revoked because of a prolonged period of time in which these companies has not been able to meet local capital requirements. Asset concentration in high-risk investment is considered another weakness because the investment risk is requiring a lot of capital, while in developed countries normally we see that underwriting risk is the major requirement of capital.
Now, technical results, can we talk about those, because they've been under pressure? How would you describe the operating performance of companies in Jordan?
The operating performance has weakened in Jordan in the last few years, and that has obviously impacted the AM Best ratings. As said, the high competition in the market has caused pressures on pricing, and also some companies had to restate or adjust their balance sheet, impacting directly the operating performance. However, AM Best thinks that some of these issues has been addressed in 2018, and as a consequence the 2018 results has been better than 2017 ones. With regard to the largest sector in the market, which is motor, it made a 14 million dinar loss in 2018, not including the administrative expenses related to this sector. It made also a 106% loss ratio, and this is mainly caused by the fact that it is distributed on a pro rata basis by the government, depending on the financial size of the companies, and also it is tariffed by the government itself. Some companies, as a consequence, decided to exit this market, while some others tried to lobby with the government in order to address this problem. The second largest sector in the market is considered to be medical, and it has seen alternate fortunes in the past few years, with the combined ratio moving from 93% in 2015 to 122% in 2017. The main reason of that is that the most important player in this market, which is Arab Orient, which underwrites 40% of the total premium of medical insurance in Jordan, had to restate its balance sheet because they found an accounting issue in it, and that impacted directly the operating performance of Arab Orient and, as a consequence, of the market as a whole. Other lines of business, being property, engineering, and marine, and some others, have very low retention in the Jordan market, with most of the business heavily reinsured by international reinsurers. Thanks to very good inward reinsurance commissions, these lines has managed to be profitable, and as a consequence, sometimes they manage to offset the losses made by the motor sector for some companies.
A copy of AM Best report on Jordan's insurance market can be found on ambest.com. For AM Best TV, I'm Yvette Essen.